How's it going, Jared? I understand where you're coming from. Like you, this game meant a lot to me. It was the only game I was playing for a large majority of the game, and this is the furthest I've gotten in a game since the very first game I played 2 years ago. So being here at the end means a lot to me. As for your question, I had to write them all down. There's quite a few. I'll get to them all. If I don't get to any of them, I'm sorry. I think I got them all wrote down, but anyways, what makes me the greatest human and why? Um, I mean, it just goes back to I wanted it so bad. Early in the game, I knew that I had to socialize with everybody if I wanted to last. It was like being thrown into a merge of a survivor game, and there was no tribe. Going at the very beginning, like yeah, there was two people on the other side, but there was like 14 of us over there. So we had to start fast, and I just socialized with everybody and built into an alliance and another alliance that was apart. Like just socialized a lot early on. Very much early on was just a lot of socializing. Uh, Once we merged and there was 4 humans and 8 zombies, my strategy was basically to tell every one of the zombies that I was the next to go, that I would be next if it had not gone to a merge round, that I would be the next person. That's one of the reasons I think that I was able to make it past that first Josh vote, was people thought that I implied people to think that Sarah and Josh were a lot closer than me and Sarah were. Uh, Once Josh was gone, I I realized shortly, real quick after that, that someone else had to go ahead of me into the zombies, and Sarah was a bigger target than me. I just kept the bigger target ahead of me. Um, Technically, I was not the last human in the apocalypse. Cody James is still a human. He was shot dead as a human. So I never really was the greatest human. Cody James is the only human left in the game, which technically makes him the greatest human. Um, but as for the last human left playing in the game, I feel like my social ability and my knowing what to tell people and make them perceive was the truth, helped me get to that point. Now, your second part of that was why was it so important to me, and why was it so important to me to be the last human? I knew as the last human that I would have a distinct advantage over all the zombies and everyone left in the game. That I knew that if someone was coming after me, they had to vote me out twice, which was, everyone else had that. But I knew at that point that, if I was getting votes one round, the next round I was getting votes for sure, being the last human at that situation. Once Cody was gone, I tried to help and protect Sarah a lot, who was part of my human alliance, and we moved together as a unit, and we did a lot of thinking together, and we moved pretty far considering where we were in that position. Basically, the importance of being the last remaining member of my alliance left in the game was that I would be able to be a swing vote. It never turned out that way, or it wouldn't have, I guess, had I not won immunities, but I was positioning myself to be the Danny Boatwright of the season at the end, right? Max and Brian or Max and Cody decide to align together. You and Eric are a strong alliance that was built at that time. I wanted you guys to have a fifth person to swing with, so to speak. And that was part of why I wanted to be the last human left in my alliance, the last person left there. You can't make it to the end of the game if you can't outlast your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you have to set little goals throughout the game. Okay, first goal is be some of the last humans left in the game at merge. The next goal is be the last human after the merge. The third goal was get to a position, final 6, final 5, when the power is more or less just kind of used to get me to another level in the game where I could start winning immunities if I needed to. It all worked out for me. It usually doesn't, but this time it did. It was an important thing. It was the next goal. There was always a goal in front of a goal in front of a goal. Some of the moments with Jared, oh man, there was a lot of moments with Jared. First and foremost, the discussions about Survivor and finding out that you didn't even care about last season. You're more looking forward to next season. And me, I'm thinking the exact opposite. I was like, oh, last season was awesome. I don't even really give a crap about Gen X versus Millennials, but like, you sold me on next season, you know. You gave me like that chick to look up, that Smosh girl, Mari. I looked her up. She was pretty cool. Other moments with Jared that I remember, I just remember trying my best to be as honest with you as possible, because I knew that you're not the kind of guy that likes to be fucking lied to. Nobody likes to be lied to, but I could tell that you're not gonna take it nicely. Like, no one likes to be lied to, and you seem like the last person I would want to lie to in this game. I misled a lot of people. I half-truthed a lot of people. I used people in this game. I didn't want to do that with you. I knew that I had to treat you with a little bit more respect, is the word I would use. And I had to tell you how it was going to be, if that's how it was going to be. And like, every time I told you something, I meant it. When I said that I wasn't going to write your name down, I meant that I wasn't going to write your name down. The only reason that I ever wrote your name down at the end was because you were becoming a threat to take a spot at the final tribal. I knew that you were going to be at final tribal. If I didn't move right then and there is no way that you don't make it to final tribal council. And once you're there, you got a good shot. And those are the moments that I liked about being around you, was just I was able to be truthful with you and honest with you. We talked about our heritage and how we both have Native American in us. You were Maori. You know, these are things that, you know, we're both from British Columbia. You're from Southern BC. I'm from Northern BC. There was things that we clicked on, and I just enjoyed the conversation with you. Rank the easiest to the hardest votes. Okay. Easiest vote of the entire game would have been I would have to say Lila. Or no, sorry. Yeah, not Lila. I would have to say Patrick, because there was so much setup before that vote. It had all been set up before that vote that Patrick was going to be that person to go. Once Lila was gone, Julian was gone, Patrick was gone. The second easiest would have been Julian, the next person, because again, it was set up with the Lila vote. After that, I would have to say the Cody James vote would have been a little bit easy, because I knew that he was a threat, challenge and jury-wise. Not so much socially, but just challenge and jury. I knew that he would be able to explain himself, so I knew that he had to go at some point. And when there was a door open to do it in one round instead of two, I took it. My vote wasn't needed in that, so I did it mostly to protect myself in case of a split. And it worked out. It worked out. It was a respect and a self-preservation move. A lot of my moves were self-preservation moves, especially towards the end. Voting you out was a self-preservation move. After the Cody James vote would be the Lila vote, would be the fifth hardest. Or anyways, fifth or fourth hardest would have been the Lila vote, because she helped vote herself out. And once I got Julian on board, getting Eric on board was easy enough. Pushing the blame onto Patrick was a big integral part, but it just kind of happened. Everyone just assumed that Patrick did that, and I definitely said that he did that to people to make it feel that way, because it's just, I had to do that. Like, we were down 8-3 at that point before that Lila vote. That had to happen. After the Lila vote, let's see, I didn't vote out Sarah. After the Lila vote, the Max vote out. I hated doing it to Max. He's a really good guy. I appreciate him for who he is as a person, but I couldn't not honor my day one promise to Eric. There were certain promises in this game that I did keep. I did not write Sarah's name down. I did not write Eric's name down. I was loyal to the people that I aligned with day one before anyone else, unless they turned on me. I would have to say the Cody A vote. I didn't vote him out, so I don't know. So Patrick, Julian, Cody James, Lila. I didn't vote out Sarah. I didn't vote out Cody, Max, and the next two were, oh my god. Well, obviously you were. Let's just say you were the hardest vote for me. I respected you. I liked you as a person. The most of the people that I did vote out, I respected you. Not to say that I didn't respect them or I didn't like them, but I got to know you. Oh, Brian. Brian was hard too. You and Brian were the hardest two. By far. The hardest two. And I couldn't rank. The fact that I was just thinking of those things, it was like, oh, that's exactly what, that's Brian, exactly, same thing. That's why I would rank you two at the highest, because I respected your guys' games. I liked the way you guys played. They weren't necessary for me to get to this point, but they were necessary for me to get to this point with Eric. So those are the easiest to the hardest. Why is Eric better than me? He didn't get any votes. He got one vote at the final four. That was it. One vote all game. He didn't get any votes. He was, I wouldn't say in control of a lot of the game, but he had as much, me and him had all the info of the game. We knew what was going to happen every round. Both of us, him working the zombie side, me working the human side. Why is he better? Because he was managing more people. He had more information not at more points, but he had more information early on to give to me when we got to merge. The use of that information, of course, is what brings me to my last point, why we should vote for me and not him. Because I care about this game. I care a lot about this game. Eric self-voted, didn't show up for certain challenges, coasted on his social aspect, coasted on this. I pushed. Early on, I won the first challenge. I put a huge target on my back. I said, here, everybody, here's the person that's going to be a challenge person. Here's someone who's going to be a leader because the challenge demanded that someone be a leader. Here's somebody that's going to be at the forefront of this game, the entire game. I pushed. I had a strong alliance that went to rocks for me. I didn't go to rocks for someone. I built enough of a social game that people were willing to go to rocks for me. After the social aspect of the game, like, I would have went for rocks for any one of those four people, and that's not the point. The point is that people went to rocks for me. The next part of that, when we get to the merge, I had the first part, the pre-merge was all social game, building a social structure to work with, so that every one of you in the jury, every one of the people at the merge had a working relationship with me. That was my social game pre-merge. You have to lay the social work down early. It has to be the first thing you do, is talk to everyone, get to know people, figure out what's everyone about. Secondly was my strategic sense. I came into the merge down 8-4. Yeah, we had 2 lives, but the precedent was set. Once Josh was voted out, bam, bam, 2 votes right in a row, boom, bye. And if it wasn't Josh, Sarah was next. If it wasn't Sarah, Cody. If it wasn't Cody, it was me. So something had to be done. Somebody had to mastermind a comeback for any of those humans to even sniff the final 6. Any of us, to even sniff final 6, we had to make some sort of strategic bullshit masterminds. I got 3 people to final 8, I got 2 of us to final 6, and god damn it,